So watch me create this soft glam look for my beautiful client. If this is what you'd like to see, keep on watching. So first thing, I'm going to be cleaning up the face in order to remove dirt and oil on the face. So after that, I'm going to be hydrating her skin with my Kiss Beauty spray. After that, I let it dry into the skin before moisturizing. So to moisturize her face, I used Cetaphil moisturizer and applied it all over the face. So after moisturizing, I let it dry into the skin before applying primer. So I'm going to be using this Kiss Beauty primer on her face. Primer helps the makeup to last long. So make sure every product dries into the skin before you move on to the next product. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to be using this L'Oreal foundation. I'll be leaving the shade in my description box. So I went ahead using a flat brush to apply it all over the face. Then I went ahead to spread the face for easy blending. After that, I used my damp beauty sponge to blend the foundation into the skin. So after blending in the foundation, I'm going to be locking it up with this same spray. This would help the foundation to be intact. After that, I dried it up. Before going on with my contour, I'm going to be using this New Balm Beauty concealer in the shade 049 to contour her face. So if you want to contour the face, it's best to use a shade that is two shades darker than the skin color to contour the face. And yes, you can also do dry contouring instead of this cream contour. Cream contour is not compulsory, but if you really like it, you can do it. Some people do dry contouring, while some people do both. So do the one that works for you. So after contouring, I'm going to be mixing these two shades from my Blossom lip palette and apply it above her cheekbone and a little bit on the tip of her nose. And I went ahead using my beauty sponge to blend. So next, I'm going to be highlighting her face with my Zikel concealer. I'm going to be leaving the shade in my description box. So I'm just going to apply it on the areas I want the face to be highlighted. So after highlighting, I used my beauty sponge to blend the concealer on the highlighted area. So after highlighting the face, I'm going to be contouring the nose with the same shade I used to contour her face. So after that, I blended it to avoid harsh lines. So after blending, next thing is to set the concealer, but I added a little lighter concealer on the inner corner of her face because I really want her inner corner to be a little highlighted. So after that, I blended it immediately. So next is to set the concealer using this Merak setting powder in the shade Cinnamon. But before setting, I went back using my beauty sponge to blend the areas underneath her eyes to avoid creasing. So to set the concealer, I'm going to be using this puff. Trust me, I didn't enjoy using it because I feel like it's not soft. I used to have a very soft one, but I don't know where I kept it. So I just had to manage this one. So I went ahead using a fluffy brush to set properly because I wasn't understanding the puff that I used. So after that, I used the same puff to set the other places I applied the concealer. So after setting the concealer, next is to set the rest of her face. I'm going to be using my Becharm powder palette. I'm just going to take this shade here to set the rest of the face. So while you're setting the rest of your face, make sure you use the exact shade of your powder to set the rest of your face. Don't use something that is too light or too dark. Make sure it matches with your skin shade. So after that, I'm going to be setting the cream contour I applied earlier. So I'm just going to mix these two shades from the same powder palette to set the places I applied the cream contour. So next I'm going to be using the same shade to contour the nose. So after that, I'm going to be applying these two shades from the same powder palette on the places I highlighted. Then I went ahead using my powder brush to blend everything together. So after that, I'm going to be applying this powdery blush above her cheekbone. After which I blended again with my powder brush. So after that, I'm going to be spraying the face. This would help to reduce the brightness on the face. So after setting, I let it dry into the skin before baking. I'm going to be baking with my Sasha Buttercup setting powder. So it's not always necessary to apply much setting powder underneath the eyes, especially if you've set the concealer. But the reason why I like to apply it is because it helps to avoid fallout from the eyes. So moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be using my Viange eyeshadow base to prime her lid. You can also use your concealer. This would help the eyeshadow to pop and last. So after applying it, the next thing you want to do is to blend it. So moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to be taking this shade from my Focalo eyeshadow palette and apply it on the outer corner of her lid, then blending it towards the inner corner of her lid. So after that, I went ahead with this darker shade. I went ahead applying it on the outer corner. So next I'm going to be using my Beach Wave eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to take this brown shade here and apply it on the outer corner of her lid. So after that, I'm going to be applying this shade from my Blossom eyeshadow palette and apply it on the inner corner of her lid. So after that, I used my eyeshadow blending brush to blend to avoid any demarcation. So next I'm going to be applying some setting powder on the outer corner of her lid to define the lid. So I went ahead applying this MK pigment on the inner corner of her lid. So you can make use of any color of your choice, but this was the exact color she chose. So next I'm going to be lining her upper and lower lash line with my carrot gel liner using my angled brush. So after that, I added this color from the same palette on the outer corner of her lid because that's what she wanted. So moving on to the brows, I'm going to be using my spoolie brush to brush her brows. Then I added a little brow balm on her brows to lay it nicely. So to outline her brows, I'm going to be using my carrot gel liner and my angled brush to draw her brows following the shape of her brows. So next I highlighted her brows with the same concealer I used to highlight her face. After highlighting, I blended the concealer immediately so it doesn't get dry. So next I use this powder from the same powder palette to set the concealer and also blend. Then I did the other brows following the same method. So next I'm going to be using this mascara to prep her natural lashes and also give it volume. Then I use the same contour brush to blend again. So next I'm going to be wearing her this lashes from Newborn Beauty. So after that I did this particular lip for her but she didn't like it so I had to change it to this. So next I used concealer to clean up the excesses from the lip. After that I set the concealer with a powder. So I went ahead using this light shade to dust out the excess powder on her face. So after that I went back with a powder brush to blend everything together. Then I used my Kiss Beauty Spray to set the face again. After setting, I let it dry into the skin. So next I use this Younger Beauty highlighter and apply it on the places I want the highlight to pop. So after that, I applied mascara on her lower lashes. After which I went back using my powder brush to blend everything together. So next I'm going to be setting the face for the last time. And this is the final look, guys. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you so much guys for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.